and welcome to our specification showdown of the best superbikes that you can walk into a dealership and buy today. Before we get into the video any further though, we'd just like to ask you if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you can stay up to date with all of Visordown's videos. And don't forget to leave a comment at the end of this video letting us know which bike you'll be eyeing up in 2021. So, let's get into it. Sports bikes are the halo of any manufacturer's range. They may not sell the most units or make them the most money, but when it comes to claiming all the plaudits and the glory, the fully fared 1000cc or more brigade are firmly where it's at. In this video we'll be taking a look at the big that battle it out in the sales charts and are all vying for your attention. In the interests of impartiality, we'll be taking into account manufacturers' claim specification and looking purely at the nuts and bolts of the machines. The GSX-R is one of the longest continually running sports bikes in history, with a bloodline that stretches back to the slab-sided GSX-R 750 of 1984. Today though, the venerable old Gixxer is still a fan favourite for those looking for all the thrills of a race bike in a usable road-going package. The latest generation GSX R1000R leans heavily on tech learned in MotoGP, with an engine, exhaust and electronics package that all feature a trickle-down in tech from the top flight of motorcycle racing. It features motion track braking system and traction control, riding modes, launch control and a quick shifter. The parameters within might not be as far-reaching as some of the other machines on the list, but for road riding some will actually prefer the simplicity and value offered by the cut-price Suzuki. The new breed of Panigale was released to much fanfare in 2018 and marked a move for the Italian brand away from the world of twin-cylinder sports bikes. The new 1103 V4 was and still is the fastest, most focused and most powerful Panigale you can buy, but today we're looking at the 998cc Panigale V4R, the homologation special. The V4R produces a whopping 221 bhp, which can actually be boosted to more than 230 horsepower with the addition of a race kit, exhaust and ECU. Torque is 83 pound-foot from the short-stroke 998cc engine. Unlike some of the other sports bikes here, the V4R actually sits on manually adjusted Öhlins suspension, with the lower spec V4 1100 getting the electronically adjusted kit. Braking is provided by Brembo and is backed up with a full complement of rider assistance systems, including cornering ABS, traction control, slide control, engine braking control, launch control, up and down quick shifter and more. Oddly, the original Honda Fireblade, released in 1992, was never actually conceived as a racing motorcycle. Honda already had the RC45 for that, and later on the SP1 and SP2 models, although it quickly became apparent that the Fireblade was much more than just a B-road weapon. And the rest, as they say, is history. Fast forward to today and the Blade has notched up a cupboard load of wins in BSB, World Superbike, Endurance Racing and the TT. It remains to this day a benchmark in rideability and performance, both on and off track. The latest iteration of the legendary Fireblade was launched at the beginning of last year, and it saw the machine go through its most transformative change in its history. Power was up to 214 bhp, around 25 more than the previous model. It also became the most focused of the family, with rider ergonomics and geometry lifted directly from the RC213VS road-going MotoGP bike. To take the extra power, the Honda is gifted with Öhlins EC semi-active suspension that is fully adjustable through the TFT screen. It also gains the obligatory Brembo 4-piston monoblock calipers. Alongside the hardware, you also get full control of the bike with cornering ABS, traction control, slide control, wheelie control and rear lift control. Having been in production since 2004, the ZX-10R is like every other bike on this list, a fairly historic machine both on and off track. Indeed, it is the track where the homologation special that is the ZX-10RR is designed to live, although that doesn't mean it isn't a weapon on the road too. For 2021, the Kawasaki has undergone an extensive update featuring revised bodywork that for the first time on a ZX-10R now includes the all-important aerodynamic elements in the fairing. These internal wings are claimed to help the new bike produce 16% more downforce than the outgoing model. Beneath the skin, the ZX-10RR has also been tweaked, with a new closer ratio gearbox offering lower ratios in first, second and third gears. The 2021 model is also the first in the bloodline to receive a TFT dash. The M version of the R1 was introduced in 2015 as a higher spec, sexier and better performing version of the sports bike. It features a host of updates over the standard model, including full carbon bodywork, brushed aluminium tank and top-spec Öhlins EC semi-active suspension. The R1M has always been a motorcycle that is bristling with tech, and the latest generation of the bike is no exception. The TFT allows you to modulate the cornering ABS functions, the traction control, slide control, engine braking control, launch control and of course the bike's electronically adjustable suspension. To be honest, there isn't much history around the latest and greatest sports bike on the block, although it doesn't take much to spot the S1000RR lurking beneath those sizable carbon fibre wings. First introduced in 2009, the BMW quickly rocked the motorcycle establishment by being quick, high-tech and a very strong seller. With those looking for track-based thrills, it really was the bike of choice. 2021 sees the introduction of the biggest, baddest and most powerful BMW sports bike to date. The addition of the wings is a nod to the machine's World Superbike intentions, allowing BMW to run the same spec fairing in the biggest production motorcycle championship on the planet. The engine of the M1000RR is really where it's at, and it's higher revving than the S1000RR that it's developed from. It's got an extra 500 RPM to the red line. It also runs titanium conrods that are lighter than the standard S1000s. The rocker arms are 1.5mm narrower and the airbox funnel has been shortened for better load changes. In short, the M1000RR is the most focused and track-ready machine that BMW has made since the HP4 race. And let's not forget, this one's road legal. The RSV4 was announced in 2009 and has been a staple of the World Superbike Championships since. At the hands of Max Biaggi and with motorcycle racing Svengali Gigi Delagna pulling the strings, the thumping V4 took 9 podiums and a win in its first season, with Biaggi actually going on to win the championship the next year. For 2021, the RSV4 factory has been given an extensive update with a new larger capacity engine boasting 214 bhp. Torque is also up on the previous model, helped by the 22cc increase in capacity. As with any sports bike, power is nothing without control, and the RSV4 is spec'd to win with a host of MotoGP and World Superbike inspired rider assistance systems. There are 6 riding modes, 3 track riding modes and 3 road, of which there are 2 customisable on track and 1 customisable for road. There's also a new 6-axis inertial platform covering off the cornering ABS, traction control and slide control systems. Within the IMU, a refined APRC operating logic and electronic management system finishes off the package. Hardware is equally top spec, with the RSV4 shod with high quality Öhlins electronically adjusted suspension and Brembo monoblock radially mounted calipers.